Welcome back, you filthy exiles. So the 3.17 Atlas tree came out yesterday, and I did a really short stream last night. But I'm not really going to stream very heavily until Saturday when the new league starts. So we'll be doing pre-stream and everything. But anyway, I decided to put together a really basic tree for like league start in the new Atlas because we can do that. So I'm going to talk you through that and what my plans are. Now, this tree is specifically going to be focused on Syndicate, Heist, and general mapping, as well as boss farming. You can fit like a few parameters into a tree. You can't get everything into the tree, so like I'm focusing on like 4 or 5 key areas. My reasons for Syndicate is the crafts that you get from Syndicate are really valuable and really good. Outside of that, also the Heist is a really good way to make currency, and bossing and mapping because I love slamming maps and bosses. So those are like my few favorite things I love doing at endgame, and that's what this tree is really focused on is building a building an endgame tree that works for you and how you want to play the game. So just sort of following through, and I'll put in the description too the type of tree that this is and everything. So we actually start on this area here, and so these small nodes are like 2% chance for connected map drop, connected map to drop from unique map boss or whatever. So this just increases your map drop chance and whatever, but there's nodes that we will get to for that. So basically, we can't zoom in anymore from that. We go straight through. The first thing we get here are the Syndicate or Betrayal nodes. In particular, we get this Focused Investigation, which grants you 4% chance to grant an additional Jund mission. Really basic stuff, but not too bad. And then 5% more likely to be, Syndicate members are 5% more likely to be accompanied by, bodyguards. So then we move up, and this is when we get into the good stuff. So I've come back down here, and by the way, you get like 100 and I think 117 points to allocate. So I've actually selected these Karak missions. Now, you don't really, I don't really know a lot about how these are going to work, but this is like the old Zana sort of map modifiers. So I'm just going to take this as it is. But scouting reports are going to allow you to access more maps a lot quicker. So this is one way that I see of trying to complete the tree really quickly. Then we come up and we take bribery. So Immortal Syndicate members and areas are 200% more likely to offer a bargain for items. And also, better drops by the looks there as well. And then we come across 1% chance to grant an additional Jund mission on completion, so on and so on. We get that as well. 15% chance to drop a veiled item, so we get 30% chance to drop an additional veiled item when we take this particular node. And then we get effective leadership. Immortal Syndicate members in areas are 100% more likely to be accompanied by their leader. In areas, Immortal Syndicate leaders in areas drop an additional veiled item. So we want to get as many veiled items early up because that unlocks our ability to craft better gear at the end of the day. I'll just get this mic closer to my voice. All right, so then we come across here, and like this is like moving up the tree. So as you can see, there's a very specific pathing methodology going on here. So I want to access higher level maps much quicker. The way that you can do this is you can target these map nodes. So this is Shaping Skies, 3% chance on completion area to gain a free use of a special map crafting option. So this is like the unique crafting or special crafting options to target different content. But also map drops in areas have 15% chance to be one higher tier. Now, this is what I see you running until you get to like pure endgame when you can really sort of hone in on what you want to really focus on or the few key things. This is how you're going to get your map pool up. So then I come back up over here. We're not going to take any of this because we're not worried about shrines or anything. Let's be real, like no one really plays shrines and maps. Yeah. So anyway, we come up and we get Expect the Unexpected. So this is to do with additional scouting reports and also 5% quality of maps offered by Karak missions in the area. So, you can really influence the quality of the maps and the ability to get better loot. 60% increased scouting reports found in area, and then commissioned officer gain 1 additional Karak mission every day, which is like the old Zana missions, which is going to be really useful in getting more maps and getting access to some really good, bosses and things like that early up. So then we come back down and we grab these rare monster duplications. So one rare monster in areas are duplicated, and then that continues through until Spoils of War. So this is like additional basic currency and additional rare jewelry item drops. I sort of like this, though the odds of it are still very small. It creates a better way to sort of scale up better drop rates in those early maps and get better gear, at least the way that I see it. Then you come across here, map boss rarity. So 25% increased rarity of items dropped by unique bosses. And this goes through until 3% chance drop to drop additional unique items. And this is the really important one. 80% chance, increased chance to drop fated uniques. I really like that, because what that means is you can get, like, you know, instead of getting, was it the Iron Heart or whatever, and that's if that's even going to be in the game, you can get the Iron Fortress, you know, pretty easily, which is really good for like my totem build, for example. So you could sort of target farm that just a little bit. You have a pretty good probability of getting that particular item. So then, and also cost-wise, like, you'd be able to sell them for a reasonable amount if you 6-link them and things like that. I see there being a market for that. So then we come up and we start to level up heists. So secret stash, you know, just 4% chance to contain a smuggler's stash, 8% more blueprints found, 8% increased stack of rogue markers, so on and so on. Then we come down here, we go higher map tier chance. So 5%, 5%, so 10% chance of a higher tier map dropping. And also another unique map bosses have 10% chance to add a random craft to your map device, which is out of your crafting list, and then another 15% chance for another one tier higher map. This sort of synergizes with this, which gives you that, again, 15% chance, 5% chance, 5% chance. So we're sort of really focusing on pushing the maps up really quickly with this type of tree. Then you'll come back up here. We'll focus on shaping the valleys. I really like this. So 10% increased quantity of items found in areas affected by fortune favors the brave. So this is, I think, the modifier when you spend 3 chaos in the map device. So if you invest, you're going to get a quant rarity, pack size increase, and increase in the actual tiering of maps that drops. So you'll be able to get more T16 maps, for example, at endgame if you were to continue to run this through. But in early game, if you make a little bit of early chaos currency, pardon me, you'll be able to actually really influence the drop rate of those future maps coming out, as well as increase the overall quality of those maps as well. So then we come up and we keep moving up into this sort of circular area. Now, if you want to target any of this, well, you know, I'm sure other creators will do videos in different ways, but we're not going to focus on any of this stuff for now. We're going to keep grabbing the heist nodes because we're going to focus on heists. So smugglers, caches, and areas have 100% increased chance to drop blueprints, and blueprints that drop have a 10% chance to be fully revealed. Really good if you're going to focus on heist. This is a good way to get replica items and sell crazy expensive replica items and alt gems. Like, for example, anomalous inspiration and things like that go for like crazy amounts. This is one way to really focus on that. So one way to generate currency. So then we come up. Now, for my build that I'm running, I'm going to be running an RF Inquisitor. So I want to focus on the Exarch, and you can come down and you can do that. So basically, this gives you a better, I guess, fine chance of quality items from actually farming the Exarch, which is going to be more achievable. At least that's my understanding in this league, the way that the sort of mapping is going to work. And then you get Liberated Knowledge. You know, Searing Exarch has 10% chance to drop an additional exceptional Eldritch Ember. And this is, remember, we're going to get these Embers and Ictors or Ichors, which is going to allow us to do implicit crafting on items and create even more powerful builds that way. And then maps have 10% chance to award double progress towards the Searing Exarch, which is a really good modifier. It means you can get to that boss and you can really hammer that boss. Then we come down and we pick up Torn Veil. So I did fit in some Beyond, but you don't need to really do this. I just did this because, you know, if we can get Beyond into it, yeah, it just gives us better loot. Then we come down and we go and we pick up this Word of the Exarch node. So Eldritch currency items found in areas influenced by the Searing Exarch have 10% chance to be duplicated. So pretty much those like Embers or whatever have a higher chance of getting duplicated, so you get more. So then you can slam craft your items and really target the implicits that you want to get on your items. At least that's my understanding of it. And then from there, we're going to focus on Maven. So if you wanted to do Guardians, you could take these nodes up here. These are really focused on doing Elder and Guardian maps, but I'm not going to focus on that this league. I want to focus on Maven because that's where Awakened Jewels drop, and we can sell those mofos for huge sums of currency. So we go and get the most toys. Defeating the map boss with a 10% chance to also to count against also witnessing an additional random map boss, which is going to speed up your Maven encounter ability. Captivated Interest is going to increase the number of Crescent Splinters, which means that you're going to get much quicker turnaround on being able to farm Maven. Quicker you can farm Maven, the better off you're going to be in actually getting the really good drops that come from her. And then this node here, Pay for the Play. 25% chance for Orbs of Conflict found in areas to be duplicated. So 1 in 4 chance of getting multiple Orbs of Conflict, and a 25% chance to drop an Awakened support gem on completing a Maven's Crucible, which to me says everything from a currency perspective. That just seems like the node to go and get when you're going to focus on killing Maven. Like, if you're going to go through the pain of doing Maven over and over again, you might as well get Awakened gems from it, and that's exactly why I've got this node ticked here. Then finally we come up into this radial here, and this is actually for Cyrus farming. Now, I still think Cyrus is a really good boss to farm, and I'm still going to farm him this league. So we go up on this node, Conquered Conquerors. So 25% chance to drop a Conqueror's Exalted Orb. And that's when you kill a Conqueror, which is really good. And if those trade, now that's going to drop the value of currency of the tradables on those currencies. But if you still want to target influence crafting, that's one way that you can do that, or multi-influence crafting, then you can do it through these means. Unique bosses have increased chances to drop a Conqueror's map. So that means in general mapping, when you're killing normal bosses, you're going to have an increased capacity to get Conqueror's maps. And I sort of like that, because then you can really target farm Cyrus and potentially get really good drops that way. And Cyrus has a 10% chance to drop an Awakened support gem. So it's not as good as Maven's chance, but a 10% chance is still a 1 in 10 chance. So I take that as a plus, and makes farming Cyrus completely worth it. And then we can go Martial Focus. So 20% quantity or increased quantity of items found in Conqueror's maps. That's really good. That's going to increase currency generation, and honestly, I'd be surprised if people don't abuse that, because that seems really powerful. And then Conqueror's maps have 20% increased pack size, which is enormous. And then Eldritch bosses have a 20% chance to drop a Conqueror's map. So it's still incentivizing Conquerors. Like, those are really powerful modifiers for Conquerors. Not to mention, you know, items found in Conqueror's map have 5% chance to be influenced. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those nodes as well. That's what, 35% chance. And I find that that is really good. So with this, we're targeting Cyrus, we're targeting Maven, we're targeting the Exarch specifically, but it's very focused to those. And then we're also targeting Heist. We're also targeting general mapping in overall. Now, you could shift these nodes out eventually once you've got your map pool up. And that's what I will probably be doing. And then we can actually focus on beefing up and juicing our maps via these means as well. And this is really significantly juicing maps, and also Syndicate to get our crafts up. So that's pretty much my strategy for this league, at least from the Atlas perspective. I'll put a link to this in the description, because it does allow me to save a static link, which is really nice. If you've got any questions, hit me up, but this is all relatively new. This is just testing, but this is my strategy, and this is the way that I would play any other league. But anyway, until next time, like and sub, and feel free to discuss in the comments below. And yeah, have a good one, and I'll see you guys on Saturday morning. All right, bye.